We live in hard times as far as gaming goes. Younger generations, 20 years and below, think how this is the golden time of gaming, how games have never been better. But what about a humble opinion of someone like me? Someone that played games on constant basis in the last 30 years, finished around 10,000 games, if not even more. All genres included since early 90s, of course. My perspective of games changed, well, 1000 times in the last 30 years. Yeah, most of the youngsters focus on two-button reaction time games like Counter-Strike, Fortnite, Call of Duties, and similar garbage. Those that like to gamble, they play card games, Elder Scrolls Legends, Hearthstone, poker, doesn't matter. Those that like to use more than two buttons while using their brain a bit, play Dota, League, anger management games as I like to call them. But all of those games, if we exclude Counter-Strike, are new gen. At least for my 30 plus years generation is new gen. Games that have one thing in common. They make you rage while providing addiction that's strong as alcohol, drugs, or gambling. Competitive gaming. I used to play League of Legends when Master and Challenger didn't even exist. I was Diamond 1 back in Season 3, so I experienced everything there is about playing MOBAs on a high level Dota also. It never satisfied me. I was playing just to waste my precious time. I was always happier to play with 5 close friends on normal games than chasing the ladder in rank. My friends, 90% of them, were far worse players than me, but I enjoyed the laugh, yelling and pokes on Skype calls while we were playing. We used to play 20 hours plus in a row, winning or losing, it didn't matter to us, we had fun. Then I started to play on my own, chasing the number on the ladder. I was 4th Hecarim on the world ladder, 3rd Pantheon on the world ladder, and 5th Mordekaiser. Playing, raging, wasting time. Then, in Season 4, I just stopped. I decided to switch to Diablo 3. I had more than 5,000 hours again chasing placements on a ladder, and for a short time I reached 3rd Crusader worldwide on Greater Rifts. In the meantime, I also played Hearthstone, wasting time on bullshit RNG card game that kept adding new cards on every 2 to 3 months, just for the new Blizzard to earn some more dollars while breaking the game entirely along the way. And then I just stopped. I stopped with bloody everything and asked myself, are you enjoying this? Like literally answer to yourself, are you enjoying Counter-Strike more than you enjoyed Doom 1 when it came out back in 93? Was I enjoying League of Legends gameplay? Or I actually enjoyed spending time with my friends on Skype because of League of Legends? Did I really need it to reach Greater Rifts that high on Diablo 3, or have I done it because of pure boredom? The answer to all of those questions, well, let me answer them quickly. I enjoyed Doom far more. Spending time with friends while playing was the answer, and god damn it, I will change scrap Diablo 3 and go back to 96 Diablo 1 without any doubt whatsoever. So what happened next? I started to play single player games mostly, everything I missed, everything that looked interesting, and I found myself enjoying games once more after years of multiplayer garbage. So what is multiplayer? Who profits out of it? Let's see. You got microtransactions, silly skins for champs, guns, cards, pay-to-win options, raging development on maximum. Tons of kids, a lot of demented people too, haters, toxic communities. Those would be advantages of multiplayer. The only good thing I can think about is pro scene. At least those guys make money out of games, so I can understand them a bit. Single player games in the last few years also want to copy the success of MOBAs and other time wasting crap games, so microtransactions became a must in new titles. So, devs and publishers are slowly destroying single player games also. All they care about is easy money and flashy trailer, tons of false advertisement with next to nothing brain dead gameplay, with tons of collectibles, consumables and cosmetics, everything that starts on C. They love it. Where is the actual gameplay? We're gamers, you're game developers, game publishers. Main word in all of those is game. So where the fuck is gameplay? What happened with the most important part in games? With gameplay, with fun, with innovation. Very few AAA titles like Witcher 3 or Hollow Knight, for example, they are huge exceptions. Imagine those games have soul, actual gameplay with immersion without microtransactions and collectibles and lootables and whatever. Wow! And here I am playing indie games in 90% of cases now. Thank God for indie industry. They remind me of old times when I was a kid back in 90s. Games were cheap, finished, hard, bug-free and polished before they were released. Today, games are overpriced, full with microtransactions, unfinished, most of them in early access. So you, my dear player, can serve as a beta tester for something you paid, like it's finished. Instead of bug-free, you get bug crash fast, and most of the games work like garbage with huge difference in frame drops on regular basis. And then someone tells me how gaming is great. It's never been better. Really. Back in 90s we had 10 great games each month. Now we have one solid game on every 3 months. Is that bloody great to you? Does that sound normal to you? Back in 90s, I didn't know what to play first. Now I can't find a new game for 3 straight days. Then I scroll my library and pick something that's 20 years old to play. Is that normal to you? Do you know what gaming is? It's when you play, for example, old Contra that was hard as hell. You get 3 lives for 3 hours campaign. And you need to play Contra for a month in order to finish it. It's addicting, it teaches you how to lose, how to fail, and get better every time when you start a new run. You value your lives, you value your time. Today, you get 1 million save slots with addition of checkpoints, of course with a mini-map, main map, mini map and a huge arrow above your head pointing you to your next objective. God forbid you get lost in the game. God forbid that you use your own brain to navigate in the game. Only thing that's left for publishers and devs to add as a help for players in today's games would be a blowjob while they play. Everything else is there. Virtual blowjob while we play, incoming by 2030. Mark my words. If someone makes a game like Dark Souls, for example, 90% of people will complain how it's way too hard. What should I do without a minimap? I got one-shotted, I got lost. Where do I go next? Uninstall, in that order. That's the order. I even watched some pro competitive MOBA and FPS players trying to play games like Souls or Doom or doesn't matter. They literally died 10 times in 10 minutes and uninstalled the game, of course, then went back to stream Fortnite or League or whatever. People, they're not dumb, you know, they're just dumbed down with simplicity so much that they don't know how to adapt on new things, on changes, on randomness. Even pros suck in variety gaming. Can't say I blame them though, they earn money out of their games, but I guess their lives are very boring also. They just follow the pattern and go in a circle, never-ending loop. That also applies for real life. Very few people on this planet tend to go in a straight line. So, one advice I'll give to all younger players that will watch this, hopefully older too, that missed some things in gaming history. When you think how Path of Exile is the best action RPG in the world right now, you might want to play Diablo 1 and learn how the entire genre started. When you think how Call of Duty's Counter-Strikes and similar first-person shooter garbage invented anything, maybe you should play Doom 1, Quake, Wolfenstein on a hardest difficulty and experience some real challenge and learn how FPS started. When you think how RPGs and CRPGs are brilliant because of Divinity Original Sin 2, Witcher 3 or Dark Souls. They're great games. But maybe you should check on Baldur's Gate that invented the entire genre overall. When you think how turn-based games are XCOM 2, Hearthstone, or similar things, how about you pay some respects to the real creators of the genre, turn-based genre, strategy turn-based genre, like King's Bounty and Heroes of Might and Magic 2? You know, King's Bounty was the very first in that. When you think how Total Wars or StarCraft 2 are the best real-time strategies, how about you play some Crash Kill and Destroy or Command and Conquer from 90s? There are 1000 examples. But the entire point behind my words here are that the games from 90s were pure. They were uncorrupted, innovative. They were pure because they didn't have microtransactions. They were pure because they were finished products on release dates. There were no early alphas and betas. Games were tested and released in a pure state. They were pure because they offered a real challenge. They were pure because they were not insulting players' intellect with arrows and markers above their heads. They were pure because they offered gameplay that was fun, addictive, and innovative. Those games were pure because they offered one thing that games of today rarely offer: respect. Respect towards your intellect as a player, respect towards your free time, and respect towards your own personal fun. Ask around, do your research. Don't waste your life on one or two games that are mainstream. Do yourself a favor, start playing games that respect your time and, of course, your money. Remakes, reworks, remasters, re-this, re-that is all we get these days. Like devs are afraid to make a brand new title while being innovative. I don't blame them though, I blame us as players. We are to blame for playing mainstream garbage. Then publishers demand more mainstream garbage from devs that are wasting their talent on in-game shops instead of the actual gameplay. Why would devs risk their time, money, and ideas if they can't earn and upgrade for their next titles? I mean, games are corrupted, same as football is, same as basketball, same as the entire entertainment industry. That's all entertainment. Those idiots, they're shooting the ball or kicking the ball and they get millions for it. For what? They're not doctors, they're not architects. No one's life depends on them. So let me give you an example, a pure example from sports only, that's very well connected to gaming also. Back in 80s and 90s, let's take NBA for example. They had far better competition than today. The reason is very simple. Players were playing for less money, for the love of the game and to win. The most important part here is for the love of the game. Most of them remained with one team, spent their entire careers and remained loyal. Today, they play so they can add some new tattoos and haircuts. They get enormous amount of money for being talented only, so pure on talent money, without winning championships and proving themselves before that. Same goes with football, when best players were 10 to 20 mil back in 90s, and those were Gabriel Batistuta, Rui Costa and similar. Now, regular schmucks with two left legs are being traded for 50 million easy. You see, that philosophy is transferring to gaming industry also. Greed, corruption, copycats everywhere. People with zero talent selling someone else's ideas while plaguing game with bugs, microtransactions, season passes and early accesses. What I do in my free time and how I entertain myself. It's very simple. I watch real basketball, for example. Old Boston games from 80s, old Bulls games from 90s, old football from 90s, older games from 90s and early 2000s. It's the peak years of competition, pure fun, love for the game, without endorsements and stink of money corrupting the main thing that the games are about. Entertainment, they're there to entertain you. It doesn't matter if it's cricket, baseball, basketball, games, cards, football. All of those are there to entertain you. And what they do now is a complete opposite. You overpay, they underachieve. You rage, they earn easy money. You cry, they laugh. You are being brainwashed while they profit. The only way to stop all of this is that you, the consumer of entertainment, just stop supporting the new age of greed by paying your respect and your time to older and far less corrupted entertainment industry. Until something changes, if it ever happens, it would be a blessing. But the entire earth is cursed, so it will need one huge AoE blessing to clear all the greed and corruption in the entertainment industry. Have a good day, and I'll be seeing you on the next one.